All right, so I've explained this may be a lot of stuff. So go over the SQL tutorial and create different tables. Play around with the left join. There is also right join. There is inner join. Um, there are a lot of different MySQL syntaxes, but um, majority of what you would be dealing with has to do with simple select statements from left join. You specify what type of entries you want to obtain, and it's basically playing around with order by and group by. Now, key thing when designing the database is you want to design the database to be very simple and to not have so much information. Okay, so billing just has all the information, all the absolutely essential information for billing. Client just has all the absolute essential information for clients. And for the leads table, for example, I could have created a field for client name and all the stuff that's in the client table, but that's a lot of repetitive information. And all the information about the client can be really traced from the site ID and then to the client ID, and therefore just by doing it this way, I save a lot of space. And if that didn't make a lot of sense, um, maybe yeah, maybe you need to once you have more experience designing databases, then it will make a lot more sense. But for now, just trust me that you don't want the tables to go too big. You want to do everything you can to make each table as small as possible. Because when you have millions of records, um, it matters how big your table is. It may take, you don't want doing one query to take you 30 minutes just because you know how your database is designed. So play around with it. Look at how this works. You can create a new row, for example, by going to the table that you want to add the new row. You can go to insert and you can insert a new row. You can modify some of these codes using phpMyAdmin user interface, or you can do it all by typing a query directly here. All right, so using this, let's just go over this really quick. Okay, it's easy for you to pull all the list of signs that client A has. It's just a select statement. You can also find out the total number of leads we generated for each of our client during any time period. Well, let's actually do that because I don't think I've done that. So let's say I want to get all leads where registered date time is between January 1st to January 15th. No, February 1st to February 15th. Then how could you do that? It's pretty easy. What you do is I do select start from everything from these where registered date time is greater than 2011 and registered date time is smaller than, and if you do that, that will display all the leads that fall within that criteria. Okay, so done that. If you want to see how much money we made from each of our client, then you just need to look up the billing, and you can just also group the result by the client ID and get the total. So in this case, let's just do that. So here, select everything from star, and we're going to group the result by the client ID. And we're going to show the client ID, and we're going to show the sum of the amount, and we're going to call that total. So I run this query, tells me for client ID 1, I made $3,200 and so forth. Okay, so just see how just by designing tables that contain the absolute essential information, now I can just run different queries to pull the information that I need. Okay, so play around with it. Play around with the tutorial as well. Create some tables. Play around with the rows, and also play around with the SQL syntax as well.